Welcome to Vending University, the ultimate guide to becoming a vending operator. In this course, Navigating International Trade Laws for Vending Machines, we will explore one of the most important yet often misunderstood aspects of the vending business: how international trade rules affect everything from machines to the products inside them. When running a vending operation, it's easy to focus only on stocking, placement, and customer experience. But behind the scenes, global trade laws quietly influence costs, risks, and opportunities. From customs duties and tariffs to labeling rules and safety certifications, regulations determine how smoothly goods and equipment cross borders. Today's vending industry is global by nature. Machines may come from one country, payment systems from another, and snacks or drinks from multiple suppliers across continents. This interconnected supply chain makes it essential for vending operators to understand the laws that govern trade. Even if your machines are local, the products and parts inside them likely are not. Throughout this course, we'll break down complex trade concepts into practical lessons. You'll learn about import and export requirements, how free trade agreements impact your bottom line, and what to watch for with restricted or regulated goods. We'll also cover real examples of challenges vending operators face when navigating customs and compliance. Beyond avoiding fines or delays, knowledge of trade laws can become a competitive advantage. By understanding regulations, you can negotiate smarter with suppliers, plan costs more effectively, and even expand your operations into new regions. Compliance is not just about avoiding problems, it's about positioning your business for growth. By the end of this program, you'll have a clear framework for approaching international trade strategically. You'll be better equipped to keep your vending operation compliant, resilient, and ready to thrive in a global marketplace. Module 1: Introduction to International Trade Laws in the Vending Industry. In this module, we will set the stage for understanding how international trade laws connect directly to the vending industry. While vending machines may appear to be simple points of sale, the truth is that every part of a vending operation is shaped by global rules and regulations. From the machines themselves to the snacks, drinks, and technology inside them, international trade determines what is possible for operators. At its core, international trade law governs how goods cross borders. It sets the framework for tariffs, customs processes, and safety standards. For vending operators, this means the machines you import, the food you stock, and even replacement parts for repairs are subject to legal oversight. Without proper awareness of these rules, operators risk unnecessary costs, delays, and even penalties. The vending industry is uniquely tied to global supply chains. A single vending machine may be manufactured in Asia, outfitted with payment systems from Europe, stocked with snacks from North America, and placed in a different region altogether. Each step of this process falls under the umbrella of trade regulations, making it essential for vending professionals to grasp at least the basics. International trade laws are not only about restrictions, they also open opportunities. For example, free trade agreements can reduce tariffs, making machines or products cheaper to import. Understanding these benefits allows vending operators to make smarter purchasing decisions and expand their business more strategically. At the same time, operators must remain aware of compliance issues. Regulations around labeling, food safety, or restricted goods can vary widely between countries. Ignoring these differences can lead to products being seized at customs or rejected by regulators, creating setbacks for your vending business. By the end of this module, you should understand why international trade laws are not abstract concepts but practical realities in the vending industry. Recognizing how these rules apply ensures you can build a more resilient, compliant, and globally competitive vending operation. Module 2: Import and Export Regulations for Vending Machines and Components. In this module, we will focus on the specific import and export regulations that vending operators must understand when sourcing machines, parts, or technology across international borders. While the vending business may seem local at first glance, every imported machine or exported component falls under a complex set of trade rules that directly influence cost, timing, and compliance. Importing vending machines or parts requires compliance with customs regulations, which often involve tariffs, duties, and classification codes. These codes, also known as HS, Harmonized System Codes, determine how much you will pay at customs and what documentation you must provide. A lack of knowledge in this area can lead to delays, fines, or machines being held at ports until proper paperwork is submitted. On the export side, vending operators or manufacturers must ensure that machines and components meet the legal standards of the destination country. Electrical safety certifications, environmental requirements, and food-related approvals may all apply. For example, a machine exported to the European Union may require CE marking, while one shipped to North America could need UL certification. Import and export regulations also extend to financial documentation, including invoices, bills of lading, and certificates of origin. These documents not only verify the transaction, but also determine eligibility for reduced tariffs under free trade agreements. Errors in paperwork may result in unnecessary costs, so attention to detail is critical. Vending operators must also consider restrictions on certain components. Some countries have strict controls over payment technologies, wireless modules, or refrigeration systems due to security or environmental concerns. Being unaware of these restrictions can prevent equipment from entering or leaving a market. By the end of this module, you should have a clear understanding of why import and export compliance is fundamental to vending operations. Proper knowledge of these regulations helps you avoid costly errors, ensures machines and parts move smoothly across borders, and strengthens your ability to operate in an increasingly global industry. Module 3: Understanding Tariffs, Duties, and Customs Fees. In this module, we will examine tariffs, duties, and customs fees, which are some of the most important financial factors in international vending operations. While these terms are often used interchangeably, each has a specific meaning, and together they can significantly influence the cost of importing or exporting vending machines, parts, or products. Tariffs are taxes imposed on imported goods, typically set by governments to protect local industries or generate revenue. For vending operators, tariffs can raise the total cost of purchasing machines or stocking international products. The rate you pay often depends on the classification of the goods under the harmonized system, which groups items into categories with different tax rates. Duties, on the other hand, are broader charges that can include customs duties, excise duties, and sometimes value-added taxes. These are calculated as a percentage of the product's value, weight, or volume. For example, a vending machine imported with advanced technology may face higher duties than a standard model, depending on the rules of the importing country. Customs fees are additional charges tied to the processing and handling of goods at borders. These may include inspection fees, administrative costs, or storage charges if shipments are delayed. While they may seem minor compared to tariffs, these fees can accumulate and add unexpected expenses to your operation if not accounted for in advance. For vending businesses, understanding these costs is not just about compliance, it is about planning effectively. By knowing how tariffs and duties apply, operators can decide whether to source machines locally, negotiate better supplier terms, or leverage free trade agreements to reduce expenses. Awareness of customs fees also ensures smoother budgeting and prevents unpleasant surprises. By the end of this module, you should recognize that tariffs, duties, and customs fees are more than bureaucratic terms. They are financial realities that directly affect your profit margins. Mastering these concepts will allow you to manage costs more strategically and maintain competitiveness in international vending operations. Module 4: Compliance with International Product Standards and Certifications. In this module, we will explore the role of international product standards and certifications in the vending industry. For operators and manufacturers, compliance is not optional. It is a requirement for placing machines, components, and consumable products in global markets. These standards exist to ensure safety, quality, and consistency across borders, but they can also create challenges for businesses unfamiliar with the rules. Product standards apply to nearly every aspect of vending machines, from electrical safety and fire resistance to payment systems and refrigeration. For example, the European Union requires CE marking on machines sold within its borders, which confirms compliance with health, safety, and environmental standards. In the United States, UL or NSF certifications may apply, depending on whether the machine dispenses food or beverages. Beyond the machines themselves, consumable products also fall under strict regulations. Food and drink items must meet packaging, labeling, and nutritional standards before they can be sold. For vending operators, this means working only with suppliers who understand and follow the necessary certifications to avoid legal issues or product recalls. Certifications also apply to sustainability and environmental practices. Increasingly, countries require proof that vending machines and components, such as cooling systems or plastics, comply with energy efficiency or recycling standards. Non-compliance can result not only in fines, but also in reputational harm for vending operators who fail to meet consumer expectations. While the certification process may seem costly and time-consuming, it offers benefits. Certified products often carry greater trust, enabling operators to build stronger relationships with partners and customers. Compliance also reduces the risk of delays at customs, ensuring smoother entry into new markets. By the end of this module, you should understand that international product standards and certifications are both a challenge and an opportunity. Compliance protects your business legally while positioning you as a professional operator ready to meet the expectations of regulators, suppliers, and consumers worldwide. Module 5. Food and Beverage Trade. Laws affecting vending operations. In this module, we will examine how food and beverage trade laws shape the vending industry. Since many vending machines dispense consumable goods, operators must pay careful attention to regulations that govern the import, export, labeling, and safety of these products. Unlike machines or components, food and beverages are subject to stricter rules because they directly impact consumer health. Food safety regulations vary across countries, but they typically cover hygiene standards, permissible additives, and shelf life requirements. For instance, a snack produced in one country may not meet the safety criteria of another, leading to restrictions on its sale. Vending operators who import such products must verify compliance before stocking machines to avoid confiscation or fines. Labeling laws are equally important. Many regions require clear ingredient lists, allergen disclosures, nutritional information, and country of origin labeling. Failure to meet these labeling requirements can lead to penalties or product recalls. For vending operators, this means sourcing goods only from suppliers who follow international labeling standards. Trade laws also regulate restricted or prohibited products. Some countries limit the import of high-sugar drinks, energy beverages, or items with certain preservatives. Others impose taxes on sugary or alcoholic products, which directly affects pricing strategies in vending machines. Awareness of these restrictions helps operators avoid stocking products that could trigger legal issues. Customs procedures for food and beverages are often more rigorous than for machines. Shipments may be subject to inspections, laboratory testing, or quarantine periods. These processes add time and cost, making it critical for vending operators to plan accordingly when sourcing consumables internationally. By the end of this module, you should recognize that food and beverage trade laws are not obstacles, but guidelines for safe and responsible vending operations. Understanding and following these laws ensures compliance, builds consumer trust, and protects your business from disruptions in the global supply chain. Module 6. Packaging, Labeling, and Country of Origin Requirements. In this module, we will focus on packaging, labeling, and country of origin requirements, three essential aspects of international trade that directly affect vending operations. While they may seem like small details, these requirements are often the deciding factors in whether a product can legally enter and be sold in a particular market. Packaging regulations are designed to protect consumers and the environment. Many countries require that materials used in food and beverage packaging meet safety standards to prevent contamination. Others mandate recyclable or eco-friendly packaging, which reflects growing global concern for sustainability. For vending operators, failing to comply with these rules can result in shipments being rejected or reputational harm among environmentally conscious consumers. Labeling requirements ensure transparency and safety. Products must include accurate ingredient lists, allergen warnings, nutritional values, and expiration dates. Some regions also require labels in multiple languages, depending on the official language of the market. Incorrect or incomplete labeling is one of the most common reasons for goods being stopped at customs, making attention to detail critical for vending businesses. Country of origin rules add another layer of regulation. These laws dictate how products must be marked to show where they were produced or manufactured. The purpose is to provide clarity for consumers and enforce trade policies such as tariffs or quotas. For vending operators, accurate country of origin labeling can influence pricing, import duties, and even consumer preferences. In addition to legal compliance, proper packaging and labeling create opportunities. Products that clearly highlight their origin, health benefits, or eco-friendly design often perform better in vending machines, especially in regions where consumers value transparency. Meeting these standards can therefore increase trust and sales while avoiding costly penalties. By the end of this module, you should see packaging, labeling, and country of origin rules not just as technical obligations, but as strategic tools. Mastering these requirements ensures smooth international trade, enhances your reputation as a responsible operator, and supports long-term success in the vending industry. Module 7. Restricted and prohibited items in global vending trade. In this module, we will examine restricted and prohibited items in global vending trade, a topic that directly impacts what operators can legally stock in their machines. Every country has its own list of goods that are banned or strictly controlled, and understanding these restrictions is essential for avoiding penalties, delays, or damage to your business reputation. Restricted items are products that may be imported or sold only under specific conditions. For vending operators, this could include energy drinks with high caffeine content, products containing alcohol, or snacks with certain additives. These items may require special licenses, warning labels, or proof of compliance before they can be sold legally. Prohibited items, by contrast, cannot be imported, exported, or sold under any circumstances. Examples may include goods that pose health risks, violate cultural norms, or conflict with public safety laws. Attempting to stock prohibited products can lead to confiscation, heavy fines, or even legal action against the operator or supplier. Global vending operations face additional complexity because what is permitted in one country may be restricted in another. For instance, a beverage acceptable in the United States might be banned in parts of Europe due to ingredient regulations, while a snack approved in Asia may face restrictions in North America. This variability makes thorough research and reliable supplier communication essential. It is also important to recognize that restrictions extend beyond consumables. Some countries regulate vending machine components, such as refrigeration systems with specific gases or wireless payment modules, due to environmental or security concerns. These rules can limit the type of machines that can be imported or exported across certain borders. By the end of this module, you should understand that compliance with restricted and prohibited item regulations is not only about avoiding trouble, but also about protecting your business from unnecessary risks. Careful planning, supplier due diligence, and awareness of market-specific rules will help you maintain smooth operations in the global vending trade. Module 8. Leveraging free trade agreements and regional trade blocs. In this module, we will explore how free trade agreements, FTAs, and regional trade blocs can provide strategic advantages to vending operators. Understanding these agreements is essential for reducing costs, improving market access, and ensuring that machines, components, and consumable products move efficiently across borders. FTAs and trade blocks create frameworks that lower or eliminate tariffs, simplify customs procedures, and standardize regulations among participating countries. For vending operators, this means that sourcing products from partner countries can result in significant cost savings. For example, importing snacks or beverages from a country with which your region has a free trade agreement may reduce or even eliminate tariffs, making international products more competitive in your machines. Similarly, machinery or components manufactured in member countries may be eligible for streamlined customs procedures, reducing delays and administrative burdens. Regional trade blocs, such as the European Union, ASEAN, or NAFTA, provide additional advantages. These organizations harmonize standards, certifications, and labeling requirements across member states, making it easier to distribute vending products without navigating multiple regulatory systems. This consistency simplifies compliance and enables operators to expand their vending operations more confidently across borders. However, leveraging these agreements requires careful planning and documentation. Certificates of origin, proper classification of goods, and adherence to local regulations are essential to qualify for benefits. Failure to meet these requirements can result in forfeiting tariff reductions or encountering delays at customs. Operators must also stay updated on changes in trade policies, as agreements are periodically renegotiated or updated. By strategically using FTAs and trade blocks, vending operators not only reduce costs but also gain a competitive advantage. Lower import duties, faster customs clearance, and regulatory alignment help ensure smoother operations and create opportunities for global growth. Awareness and proactive planning are key to maximizing these benefits. By the end of this module, you should understand that free trade agreements and regional trade blocks are powerful tools for international vending operations. Properly leveraging them allows operators to optimize costs, maintain compliance, and expand their reach in an increasingly interconnected marketplace. Module 9. Risk Management, Avoiding Penalties, Delays, and Legal Issues. In this module, we will focus on risk management for vending operators navigating international trade. Understanding and mitigating risks is essential because non-compliance with trade regulations can lead to penalties, shipping delays, or even legal action. Effective risk management ensures that vending machines, components, and consumable products move across borders smoothly while protecting your business from financial and operational setbacks. One of the primary risks is non-compliance with import and export regulations. Failure to submit accurate documentation, such as invoices, certificates of origin, or safety certifications, can result in fines, confiscation of goods, or delayed shipments. Risk management involves creating clear procedures for paperwork, double-checking compliance requirements, and working with experienced customs brokers to prevent errors. Another risk comes from tariffs, duties, and restricted items. Misclassifying goods or ignoring restrictions on certain products, such as beverages with high caffeine content or machines with regulated components, can lead to financial losses or legal complications. Proper research, supplier verification, and staying updated on regulatory changes are critical preventive measures. Trade delays due to inspections, customs holds, or missing certifications are also common risks. These delays can disrupt vending operations, particularly if perishable products are involved. Implementing contingency plans, such as alternate suppliers or inventory buffers, helps minimize the impact of such interruptions and ensures continuity in your vending services. Legal issues may arise if products violate safety, labeling, or environmental standards. Non-compliance can result in lawsuits, recalls, or reputational damage. Vending operators should establish a compliance checklist, train staff, and maintain detailed records of all imported or exported goods to reduce exposure to legal problems. By the end of this module, you should understand that risk management is not just a precaution, but a strategic necessity. Identifying potential risks, implementing preventive measures, and maintaining strict compliance allows vending operators to avoid penalties, reduce delays, and operate confidently in international markets while protecting their business and reputation. Module 10. Strategic Opportunities. Expanding vending operations globally. In this module, we will explore strategic opportunities for vending operators looking to expand their operations globally. Understanding international trade laws, regulations, and market dynamics is essential to seize these opportunities while minimizing risks. Global expansion allows vending businesses to access new customer bases, diversify revenue streams, and leverage cost efficiencies across borders. The first step in global expansion is market research. Operators must analyze demand for vending products in potential regions, consider local consumer preferences, and evaluate competitive landscapes. Understanding cultural, dietary, and regulatory differences ensures that the products and machines offered meet local expectations and legal requirements. Without this insight, even well-stocked machines may struggle to generate revenue. Trade compliance is a critical factor when expanding internationally. Knowledge of tariffs, import-export regulations, restricted items, labeling standards, and product certifications ensures that machines and consumables move smoothly across borders. Operators who proactively manage compliance reduce the risk of delays, fines, or confiscated shipments, which can hinder growth. Strategic partnerships with local suppliers, distributors, and logistics providers can further support expansion. These partners offer insights into regional regulations, assist with customs clearance, and help navigate supply chain complexities. Collaborating with experienced local entities reduces operational risks and increases efficiency when entering new markets. Free trade agreements and regional trade blocs also create opportunities. By leveraging these frameworks, vending operators can reduce import costs, access broader markets, and streamline regulatory processes. Understanding and applying these agreements strategically allows businesses to scale operations without incurring unnecessary expenses. By the end of this module, you should recognize that global expansion is not just about placing more machines abroad. It is about strategic planning, compliance, and leveraging opportunities effectively. Operators who combine market research, regulatory knowledge, and strong partnerships position themselves to grow successfully, ensuring their vending business thrives in an increasingly interconnected world. Conclusion. As we conclude this course, it is clear that understanding international trade laws is a fundamental component of operating a successful vending business in today's global marketplace. Every decision, from sourcing machines and components to stocking snacks and beverages, is influenced by regulations that govern imports, exports, tariffs, customs, labeling, and product safety. Awareness of these rules allows operators to reduce risks, avoid penalties, and streamline operations across borders. Throughout the course, we examined key topics such as import and export regulations, tariffs, duties, and customs fees, emphasizing how each affects costs and operational efficiency. We explored the importance of compliance with international product standards and certifications, as well as food and beverage trade laws that ensure consumer safety and trust. Packaging, labeling, and country of origin requirements were highlighted as both regulatory obligations and strategic opportunities to enhance market reputation. Restricted and prohibited items were discussed to emphasize the importance of due diligence in selecting products, while free trade agreements and regional trade blocs were identified as tools to optimize costs and expand market reach. Risk management strategies were also covered, demonstrating how careful planning, compliance, and documentation can prevent delays, fines, or legal complications. Finally, we explored strategic opportunities for global expansion, showing how market research, regulatory knowledge, partnerships, and trade frameworks can help vending operators grow internationally while maintaining operational efficiency and compliance. Understanding these principles equips operators to make informed decisions that balance cost, risk, and growth potential. By mastering international trade laws, vending operators gain more than legal compliance. They acquire a competitive advantage. they can confidently navigate the complexities of global trade, optimize supply chains, and expand their operations into new markets with reduced risk. The knowledge gained from this course positions operators to build a resilient, compliant, and profitable vending business that thrives in an increasingly interconnected world.